And a Subaru.
God. For women who use the birth control pill, it does not cause cancer and it may prevent it. And from the combat kitchen tonight, a soldier's sandwich. Our correspondent checks with the guinea pigs.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We're beginning tonight with scandal in an American corporation that is so huge it may well eclipse what happened at Enron. The giant telecommunications conglomerate WorldCom, which owns the long-distance phone company MCI, internet providers, fiber optic networks, and ATM services, admits that last year it tried to hide almost $4 billion in expenses. So instead of claiming a profit, WorldCom should have admitted a giant loss. President Bush said today it's outrageous and egregious behavior.
We will fully investigate and hold people accountable for misleading not only shareholders but employees as well.
The ramifications of this are truly serious to thousands of WorldCom employees, to investors everywhere, whether they are in WorldCom or not. First, our business correspondent, Betsy Stark. Betsy, this is so big that the Justice Department and the Congress both want to get involved.
That's right. The Congress wants to investigate, Justice Department considering a criminal investigation, and as you know, Peter, the SEC announced today it is filing an action against WorldCom for fraud. There are serious questions tonight about whether WorldCom and MCI will survive the fallout from today's revelations. Americans woke up today to what the SEC is calling an accounting fraud of unprecedented magnitude. An internal audit revealed that for 5 quarters, WorldCom had cooked its books to fabricate $3.8 billion in phony profits.
Just saying those numbers, I still cannot believe that they got away with that for 5 periods. And who knows if a detailed audit goes back several years, what else they would find.
The scam violated the most basic rules of accounting. Rather than show everyday costs such as maintenance and repair as expenses to be paid right away, WorldCom pretended they were long-term investments, which could be paid over years and years. That significantly reduced WorldCom's costs and helped it conceal just how weak business was.
Management decided to hide that truth by playing games with the accounting.
In a statement issued last night, WorldCom's chief executive said he was shocked by these discoveries, and the company had fired its chief financial officer, Scott Sullivan. WorldCom's outside auditor, Arthur Andersen, also blamed WorldCom's CFO. The accounting firm, recently convicted of obstruction of justice in the Enron case, said important information was withheld from Andersen auditors. Investors already digesting a stomachful of corporate misdeeds had the terrible feeling today it will not end here.
It's just a matter of time before we begin to really see more companies coming down, because I think a lot of them are practicing bad businesses, but they just haven't been caught.
Stock markets around the world sank on the WorldCom news. The Dow and the Nasdaq opened sharply lower but staged a late-day comeback. WorldCom stock never opened today because of the chaos created by the news. But it last traded at 9 cents a share, and Peter, that is a far cry from the $62 a share it traded at just 3 years ago.
Many thanks, Betsy Stark, for getting us started. As we have seen following the Enron affair, and with some of the other companies, the ones who suffer the most are the employees who get blindsided in events like this. 17,000 WorldCom workers will soon be looking for new jobs. Their executives don't need to. Here's ABC's Aaron Hayes.
WorldCom kept up the front. New plans, new buildings, even as its financial foundation was crumbling. Executives were lavished with bonuses. In 1 year, $10 million to CEO Bernard Evers alone. This April, he resigned with a golden parachute of $1.5 million a year for life, sounding like a man leaving a healthy company behind.
This is the baby of thousands of people who have made this company successful.
Not quite.
The companies were run into the ground. Senior management made off with a fortune, and labor got laid off.
3,700 laid off in April, 17,000 more to go, maybe as early as this week.
The morale is shot right now. Everyone's just sort of on eggshells wondering who's going to be next and who's gone.
The effects are being felt in Atlanta, Washington, Chicago.
Much of it's greed. If you look at these executives, I mean, they don't have one home, they have 5 homes. They don't have 1 jet, they have 6 jets.
Some WorldCom workers recognized signs of trouble early. They filed a lawsuit in March, said WorldCom was exaggerating its income, misleading the public, and making their 401k retirement fund virtually worthless. Now, with so many of those workers destined for layoffs, many want to know how WorldCom, one of the main providers of long-distance and internet services, plans to keep things working smoothly.
If you lay off a lot of people, if you have fewer operators answering the phones, if there's a cable cut and you're rolling fewer trucks to make repairs, it takes longer to repair the network.
Most analysts expect WorldCom to declare bankruptcy and resurface under new owners, a new name. As for Bernard Ebbers, he had been hoping for a quiet summer.
You think you're going to see less visibility of Bernie Ebbers?
Perhaps not, as federal investigators shine the spotlight on WorldCom and all its troubles. Aaron Hayes, ABC News, Atlanta.
A little later in the broadcast, we'll take a closer look at accountability, who is supposed to be policing these companies. Our other lead story today is certainly a compelling one. A federal appeals court in California has ruled today that reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in public schools is unconstitutional because it mentions God. The court says the pledge is essentially a prayer. The decision has unleashed a flurry of condemnation from politicians. Here's ABC's Jackie Judd.
One nation, under God.
Schools in 26 states are required to start the day with the Pledge of Allegiance. In the aftermath of 9/11, a handful of other states is considering doing the same. Student participation is voluntary. Still, the Ninth Circuit in San Francisco said uttering the words "under God" in public schools violates the separation of church and state.
The court held in this decision that when the state organizes an activity that has an affirmation of God, such as one nation under God, as a central piece of it, that is endorsement of religion.
Under God was added to the pledge in 1954 during the Cold War as a response to so-called godless communism. The court said today the phrase is the same as saying, we are a nation under Jesus, a nation under Vishnu, a nation under Zeus. Michael Newdow, an atheist, sued, arguing his daughter was made to feel like an outcast.
Children shouldn't have to have, they shouldn't have government telling them what a proper religious philosophy is.
The ruling prompted immediate political outrage. President Bush called it ridiculous. Republicans are urging local school boards to ignore the decision. The Senate raced through a resolution to join in the legal fight.
I've recited the pledge, and so has every other member of this body, time and time again. Come, Judge. Put us in jail.
The Ninth Circuit has a reputation for unorthodox opinions. It is reversed more often than any other circuit.
Many expect this issue to get to the Supreme Court, where justices have indicated that under God has minimal religious significance.
It's been with us for so long, it's so much a part of our culture, that it's very unlikely that the Supreme Court is going to declare it unconstitutional.
A final decision could take years. Until then, the pledge, under God and all, will continue to be recited in many schools across the country. Jackie Judd, ABC News, Washington.
There is overseas news today, and it begins with a major military engagement that the Pakistanis have had with al-Qaeda. In the border town of Wana near Afghanistan, an intense firefight left 10 Pakistani soldiers dead. 500 more soldiers are scouring the area for 20 to 30 al-Qaeda members thought to have escaped. Sources at the Pentagon tell ABC News that American special forces were also involved. In the Middle East today, the Palestinian Authority says it will hold new elections in January, and Yasser Arafat will run for re-election. President Bush says there need to be elections before the U.S. will support a Palestinian state, but he does not want Mr. Arafat to win. Also today, a White House official says that Israel provided President Bush with evidence connecting Mr. Arafat to terrorism. They say he authorized a payment of $20,000 to a group that organized a suicide bombing. And in Argentina, 2 civilians were killed in violent demonstrations against the government. A quarter of the country's workforce is unemployed, and there have been demonstrations almost every day for 6 months. When we come back this evening, corporate greed run amok. When the books were cooked, how come no one figured it out? The birth control pill does not cause cancer. It may even prevent it. We'll have a report. And at the end of the broadcast, imagine a sandwich that is supposed to stay fresh at 80 degrees for 3 years. That's an Army sandwich.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Bush Baked Beans.
Dude, for generations, we Bushes have kept the family recipe for our baked beans a secret. Roll that beautiful bean footage. We slow cook our beans with a special blend of herbs and spices, according to our secret family recipe. And here it is. 3 generations of Bushes are counting on us to keep it a secret.
You can trust me, Jay.
I know, boy, but I'm not taking any chances.
Ah, that hurts.
Try Bush's country-style baked beans.
I've been playing this game since I was 7. I love the smell of the grass, the feel of an old leather glove. Then my knees started acting up. The pain got worse, and so did my game. I thought my playing days were over. Nothing I tried worked long enough, till my doctor told me about Aleve. 2 Aleve can stop pain all day long. He said it'd take 8 Tylenol to do that. Now I can spend all day playing the game I love. Hey, I said I loved it. I didn't say I was good at it.
Aleve, all day strong, all day long.
Working hard or working out, nutrition is important. With Centrum or Centrum Silver, you benefit from what science discovers about how the right multivitamins help unlock energy and strengthen immunity. Centrum and Centrum Silver, always complete from A to Zinc.
When your eyes feel dry, irritated, there's Refresh brand eye drops. First, Refresh relieves and soothes, then forms a lasting shield of protection to keep irritation out and moisture in. #1 doctor recommended Refresh relieves and protects.
This is the matchup we've been waiting for, the KG veteran versus the fast-rising newcomer.
I hear the way this rookie uses bill pay from Bank of America is really something.
Look at the way the veteran stuffs that envelope, Johnny.
That is really old school.
Well, the rookie's in total control out there. He's deciding what bills he wants to pay and when.
Uh-oh. The money he's put aside to pay his bills is in one of his other accounts.
Hold on. He's transferring money from his savings into his checking account right from his desktop. What a strategy!
We've got ourselves a new champion.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at the corruption and the greed on Wall Street. WorldCom may just be the latest example. The Securities and Exchange Commission, which is supposed to enforce the law on Wall Street, opened 64 new investigations in the first quarter of this year, more than twice the number for the same time last year. And still, the SEC is being criticized for not doing enough. So who was supposed to stop the trouble from happening? Here's ABC's Robert Krulwich.
How do you miss a $3.8 billion error? It's a big error, isn't it?
It's kind of like an elephant loose in a barn, yes. It's very difficult to miss it.
So I asked accounting professor Lee Seidler to review who was minding the store here. WorldCom has bookkeepers, of course, and they record expenses. Would they notice anything unusual?
In their normal work, unlikely.
Because they're not sleuths. But the company does have internal auditors, investigators.
These are investigators essentially checking on the bookkeepers.
And for 15 months, did they notice anything?
Apparently not.
Okay, next the company had external auditors called certified public accountants.
At a firm called Arthur Anderson, which has been in the news lately.
And did Arthur Anderson's accountants pick up any of these irregularities?
No, they didn't find it.
Now, are you surprised by that?
I am staggered.
It's the boldness and the sheer size of it, he says.
This is a plain old fraud. I mean, it's not really different from someone dipping in the till. Actually, in this case, they didn't take any money, but they turned a loss for the year into a profit for the year by making a couple of book entries.
Anderson issued a statement saying the top financial officer at WorldCom did not tell or share relevant information.
I don't buy that at all.
Seidler says you don't wait to be told, you investigate.
That's why they're called auditors. They're not just listeners.
The Securities Exchange Commission in Washington is supposed to make sure public accountants do their jobs well. But they have limited powers, says Seidler. Now, who is minding the auditors?
Really no one.
In the end, it was one of WorldCom's own internal auditors who did discover the discrepancy this spring, 15 months after the irregularities began. Robert Krulwich, ABC News, New York.
Closer look for tonight. There'll be more about the WorldCom scandal later this evening on Nightline. In the national briefing tonight, firefighters in Arizona have for the first time been able to contain a small part of that 400,000-acre fire. They have surrounded 5% of it, they say. In Colorado, high wind and temperatures continue to feed the flames near Durango. There are now blackouts and communications towers are in some danger. The government says it missed out on more than $16 billion in tax revenue because the IRS didn't try hard enough. Congressional investigators found more than 1 million people did not pay all the taxes they owed in the last 5 years. In Alabama, Middle East politics helped decide the outcome of a congressional primary. Arthur Davis, a newcomer supported by large pro-Israeli donations, beat five-term Congressman Earl Hilliard. He had support from Arab Americans and supported a Palestinian state. And the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, has announced he will not run for a fourth term. Vincent Buddy Cianci has found guilty of corruption earlier this week. The city's longest-serving mayor says he will stay in office until he is sentenced. Next on the broadcast, a major new study on birth control pills, the findings that millions of women will be pleased to hear.
This heat makes my skin so sweaty, itchy, and irritated. I need more than ordinary powders, and Gold Bond gives me more. Unlike ordinary powders, Gold Bond's medicated to stop itch and keep me cool and dry.
Gold Bond powder, medicated to work as hard as you do.
Some people get heartburn so often they need a prescription every single day. What about the rest of us? For occasional heartburn, try Pepcid first. Pepcid AC stops heartburn before it starts, Pepcid Complete after it starts. No prescription required. Pepcid, just one, and heartburn's done.
Moo.
For a super deal on a computer, just call 1-800-GATEWAY. Because right now, you can get a Gateway 300 SE desktop fully loaded with an Intel Celeron processor, 128 megabytes of memory, and a monitor, all for just $599. Plus, for a limited time, we'll even include a free CD burner. But hurry, this deal won't last forever, so call 1-800-GATEWAY today. That's 1-800-GATEWAY.
Important. Take exactly as directed, but first call around and compare drug prices. Avoid paying too much for your prescriptions. Generics may work as well as brand names. Tell your physician and pharmacist everything you're taking. Some medicines don't interact well. Remember, no matter what an ad says about a drug, it may not be right for you. AARP reminds you to check up on your prescriptions.
Chevy Tahoe is the only large SUV with the security of AutoTrac four-wheel drive, so you can impress people. Or avoid them altogether. Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
There's something different about Michael.
He's like this health nut. I mean, he runs and he bikes, and he's kind of freaking me out.
He thinks he's like young again. He actually wants to do stuff with us.
What's gotten into him?
He's exercising and drinking Ensure. One glass gives you complete balanced nutrition when you can't have foods like these.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Ensure, to your health. Now with lutein to help support the health of your eyes.
Tomorrow, your job is cut, your retirement in jeopardy, companies playing fast and loose. How to tell when a company is lying about its bottom line on World News Tonight.
A study tomorrow in the New England Journal of Medicine finds there is no increased risk of breast cancer among women who take birth control pills. It's a major study, and it will surely change the way the medical profession thinks about the pill. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
An estimated 80% of American women have used oral contraceptives at some point in their lives. Many anxiously, ever since a report 6 years ago linked the pill to an increased risk of breast cancer.
Sometimes that anxiety comes in years later after they've been taking it, and somebody in their family gets breast cancer, and they may begin to worry, what did I do in the past that may affect my risk now?
But this latest study says women no longer need to worry.
The results of our study are very good news. Our study provides reassurance
that oral contraceptives do not increase the risk of breast cancer.
The study, involving more than 9,000 women, 35 to 64 years old, found that regardless of when a woman used the pill, how long she used it, whether she had a family history of breast cancer, oral contraceptives did not increase her risk of developing the disease. Not only do birth control pills not contribute to breast cancer, there's growing evidence they can actually prevent other cancers, including ovarian and endometrial cancers. Researchers predict use of the pill will reduce ovarian cancer in the U.S. by at least 30% over the next few years. That's because the first generation of women to take the pill are just entering their 50s, when ovarian cancer most commonly occurs. Doctors say the pill seems to provide this protective effect by preventing ovulation.
More frequent ovulations lead to an increased risk of ovarian cancer, so if you put the ovaries at rest, like you do with oral contraceptives, that reduces the risk.
Indeed, many women with a strong family history of ovarian cancer are now being prescribed birth control pills solely to prevent the disease. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
There are questions and answers about this study from 3 experts on birth control at our website, abcnews.com. When we come back on this broadcast, Battlefield Gourmet, making meals that are supposed to stay fresh for years.
Fast Act Foam. Its patented formula knocks out weeds in 24 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. New Roundup Fast Act Foam knocks out weeds in 24 hours.
I didn't know about today's
purple pill called Nexium.
But I spoke to my doctor.
And now I do.
Call this number for more information and a Nexium free trial offer. Nexium, today's purple pill.
Do you know about it?
Fighting pain's not the same after the Icy Hot Patch.
I put it on and the pain's gone.
Oh! The Icy Hot Patch's concentrated relief goes on Icy to dull the pain. Gets hot to relax it away for hours of relief.
It's still working.
The Icy Hot Patch. Pain has met its match.
Using the wrong waterproofer can cost you thousands. Don't be taken for a ride. Demand Thompson's Water Seal. It has the highest level of water protection. Guaranteed. Powerful original. New advanced Thompson's Water Seal.
I don't smell them. I'm the only cat left. It's all mine.
You'd never know there were 3 cats in here.
3? Formulated for multiple cats?
Tidy cats. Multiple strength.
For multiple cats.
Tough heartburn? Try Extra Strength Mylanta. Nothing's faster or more soothing than Extra Strength Mylanta, the liquidator.
When my doctor first mentioned Prempro, I didn't listen. But eventually I said yes to Prempro. Why not talk to your doctor? Say yes to Prempro.
Wonderful. Wow. Love potato salad. You really outdid yourself. Very nice. Try my macaroni salad. Fresh from ladies.
Irresistible. Best foods at its best.
Pass the best foods. Amazing.
Up next, it's the 3rd drowning this month at High Rocks, and witnesses describe what happened. 2 cars are crushed between a bus and a lumber truck in Vancouver, and a family's miraculously pulled from the wreckage. Plus, a federal court ruling on the Pledge of Allegiance gets plenty of a resistance. Next.
Tomorrow, another company, another accounting scandal. Is this just the tip of the iceberg? The fallout over WorldCom. What you need to know to protect your investments on Good Morning America.
Just before our last item, a brief review of our main stories tonight. The telecommunications giant WorldCom has admitted it hid nearly $4 billion in expenses, artificially inflating its earnings and its stock price. It is a scandal that appears to be bigger than the collapse of Enron. President Bush, one of those who said today the company's actions will be fully investigated. And a federal appeals court in California has ruled today that reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in public schools is unconstitutional because it mentions God. There's been a flurry of exceptions from politicians particularly. Finally this evening, the Combat Kitchen. The U.S. military has some of the most demanding customers when it comes to food, and what it tastes like is only part of it. They need a meal with staying power. We asked our colleague James Walker, who has a cast iron stomach, to do the reporting.
It's an image military cooks cannot shake.
I saw this stuff in the Bronx Zoo once. Gorillas were throwing it at each other.
It's a tall order to feed thousands of troops all over the world. That's the mission for the military's Combat Kitchen outside Boston.
We're mandated by the military to make products that stay fresh for 3 years.
That's 3 years in 80-degree temperatures. Their newest orders produce food soldiers can eat quickly in the heat of battle. They've come up with the pocket sandwich.
This is something that doesn't require heating. It doesn't require eating utensils.
We asked food scientist Michelle Richardson to find a soldier to test a 2-year-old pepperoni sandwich. Meet Army Specialist E4 Ishvan Gabor. And you are a guinea pig here.
HRV, Human Research Volunteer, sir.
We gave the HRV the vacuum-sealed sandwich. He spent 25 seconds trying to open it. Almost need a bayonet to get into this thing. Then another 30 seconds just to get to the pepperoni. And the verdict is?
Tastes delicious.
Tastes delicious.
It does.
But Specialist Gabor may not have the most objective palate, so we took our search for a food critic to a major metropolis. ABC News is seeking great taste buds to try Combat Sandwich. We found our judge at Les Halles, the Manhattan bistro lorded over by celebrity chef Tony Bourdain. He sampled the pepperoni.
If you were serving this at a restaurant, you should probably be dragged out into the street and beaten savagely.
He gave the barbecue sandwich higher marks.
It is spongy. It is. There's nothing rancid or vile tasting about it. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. I could eat it. Hell, I am eating it.
Back at the Combat Kitchen, the future is in bagels. This batch stays fresh just 40 days. Only 2 years and 325 days to go. James Walker, ABC News, Natick, Massachusetts.
Our colleague, Mr. Walker, is retiring. He has covered the world and its quirks for us for more than 25 years. We admire him a lot, and we're going to miss him. That is our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. I hope we'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now traveling to all 50 states in 50 weeks in search of America.
On trial, a young man. Did his drinking and driving kill his cousin? Tonight, a family torn apart. And go inside a jury room on fire as they decide his fate. Why settle for another Law & Order repeat? Stay big tonight.
Now on K2 News at 6:30, 2 cars crushed between a bus and a log truck. 1 man is dead, but a family manages to survive. Plus, for the 3rd time this month, someone has died in a popular swimming area in Clackamas. Also, a federal court says the Pledge of Allegiance is unconstitutional. What an exclusive K2 survey reveals about that ruling. And it may be pretty, but health experts are warning about the danger of a plant called hogweed.
Live at 6:30, K2 News with Paul Lindman, Steve Dunn, and exclusive microcast weather with Rob Marciano. K2 and you, the new spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening, and first on 2 tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what caused 2 cars to get smashed in between a bus and a logging truck. The accident killed 1 driver, sent 10 people, including a 20-month-old boy, to the hospital. We have Team 2 coverage. K2's Amy Clark is in the newsroom with more on the survivors. But first, we go to Bob High live at the scene with more on how this happened. Bob?
Well, Paul, it will take investigators at least another half hour, if not longer, to look at this scene, the Andreessen Boulevard here
just south of 4th Lane remains shut down at this hour and probably will stay that way for at least another half hour. Apparently, the same driver, officials say, who caused this afternoon's chain reaction crash also died in it.